Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Saturday. All right, guys. Well, we are back to talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County. Now, you guys know I left yesterday for Alabama, so I didn't get to do a hot, messy topics roundup for it or a proper recap. But seeing some of the things that are being said, especially some of the things that we have Gina Kirschenheiter over here confirming and Katie Ginella now coming out, especially when it comes to Jenn Pedranti. Yeah, you better believe I want to talk about it. And even though I told Jason that I would take some time off being here in Alabama, I rightfully so. Everybody's sitting around and they're hanging out and they're chilling. So what else am I going to do? I get like anxiety. I have to work. I have a lot of energy, okay, guys? So smash the like button, show some love. Not subscribed, get subscribed, and let's go. Okay, guys, so like I said, we're back to talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County. And all thanks to our girl, Gina Kirschenheiter over here, because Gina ended up publicly revealing that Heather Dubrow was the source who told Emily Simpson about Katie Ginella's custody issues, which Emily then brought up on Watch What Happens Live. And Gina had previously asked Emily to apologize for digging into Katie's past, saying that it was out of bounds. But she said, actually, and she was defending her friend, she said, actually, it was Heather Dubrow who was the leak. And everybody was like, wait, what? What? So Gina confirmed that things remain, especially like in her own family dynamics and world, things remain pretty difficult with Travis Mullen's ex. A lot of people were disgusted with her even speaking on Travis Mullen's ex. I kind of like to keep myself out of this one a little bit because there's clearly four sides, really. There's the ex's side, Travis's side, Gina's side, and then there's the truth somewhere in between. I don't necessarily find it completely fair that they have such a huge platform and then this woman can't really speak out on things. So I don't like that. But we don't know if this woman has in fact made Gina's life an absolute living hell. We don't. Some children apparently weren't allowed to attend a recent family vacation. Apparently there's still a lot of tension, and her and Travis have moved back in together and she feels more settled now. But Gina joked about quitting OC if Katie Ginella ended up returning, and she clarified that it wasn't personal. It just reflected her desire for authenticity and aversion to the behind the scenes things that are going on. Now, after Gina and Emily also joked that Gretchen Rossi, this is what got Emily in trouble too, looks well preserved. She addressed those double standards too. She addressed the claims of the hypocrisy, explaining that it was meant as a compliment and Gretchen was in on the joke. Now, what fans were really pissed off about when it came to this was Emily and Gina saying that she looks like she dips herself, talking about Gretchen, in formaldehyde, and that she looks like a Barbie Instagram filter from 2003. They're saying, oh, this is a compliment. Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like a compliment to me. I wouldn't be offended by it. But I guess fans are like, well, you don't like when people talk about your looks. You don't like when people talk about your body. You don't like when people say anything about you. So you should not have anything to say about Gretchen Rossi. And Emily's like, oh my God, get a vocabulary lesson. Like, do something. Leave me alone. Get off my jock. Yep. Now, also, in this whole little showdown of the OGs, Gina also declared Vicki Gunvalson more iconic than Tamra Judge when she was ranking her castmates by trustworthiness, and Heather topped her list, and Gretchen was right up there, and Tamra and Katie were tied. And she sympathized with Tamra over Teddy Mellencamp's cancer. She also talked about her vulnerability with it. But now moving on to Shannon Beador, Gina addressed the fact that Shannon Beador said that Katie was as bad as Alexis, and she suggested that Shannon's feelings were influenced by her own past pain and situations, but I think that, yes, they're valid. Listen, here's the thing at the end of the day. We can sit there and beat this thing to death. However, at the end of the day, there are a couple moments where, and I agree with Jason, what he said when we did Hot Messy and anytime we talk about it, I do like Katie. I do think that there's room for growth with Katie. What I don't like about the situation is when you're being accused of stuff with the bloggers, open the DMs. And if you didn't have service, well, since then, have you still not had service? I don't like that. I also don't like getting caught recording somebody and filming them. I don't like that. I think that that is such a breach of trust with anybody. If you ever sit there, if I caught somebody sitting there and like secretly recording me when we're in a conversation, I would just be livid. Or if I was having a private conversation and somebody was secretly recording me, I would also be livid. I would be pissed. So these are just things that, yeah, it makes it really hard to trust you because you guys are supposed to be in like a little sisterhood in this thing called Housewives. And even though you guys rip each other apart, it's a commonality that you have. And there should be a few things that it's just that would be a no-no, like the kid situation, but also secretly filming your cast members. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, some of the speculation was naming Heather as the leaker could strain their relationship, and this could be bad, clearly, for Gina, because Heather Dubrow is going to lose her shit. But then also, Gina endorsing Vicky over Tamra might stir some loyalty within the fans to try to push Vicky to come back for either conflict or resolution with Tamra when it comes to season 20. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, moving on, since we were speaking about Katie Ginella, I just wanted to talk about this. She admitted that her friendship with Jennifer Pedranti is over, and it hurts so much, especially since their families were close. Their kids can't even communicate anymore. And she said she's emotionally exhausted from repeatedly apologizing over secretly recording Shannon Beador, and she feels that this hasn't been reciprocated, even as Shannon compared her to Alexis. I don't agree with that either, because if you, again, that's like if you slap somebody. If you slap somebody and they hit you back and they just ball up a fist and punch you, you slapped them, you took the first hit. You don't get to tell somebody how they react. And if she said that you're worse than Alexis because you recorded her, and as far as she knows, Alexis didn't, then that's a valid feeling. I think so. I mean, seriously. But Katie also contested Shannon's claim that she's as evil as Alexis, and she also argued that recording someone doesn't compare to someone being sued for $75,000 and publicly dragged. That's a fair statement, but really that was John Jansen who was suing Shannon Beador. Alexis Bellino wasn't technically suing Shannon Beador, but Alexis Bellino was engaged to the man who was suing Shannon Beador. But then again, also too, Alexis Bellino has been tied to two men who now have sued Shannon Beador. So, that's rough. All right, I want to hear what you guys think. Guys, pop off in the comment section, please. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I don't think Katie Ginella will be back next season, but I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on it. I also want to hear what you guys think about Gina exposing Heather Dubrow. Love you guys. Happy Saturday in Alabama.